Episode 2 of Lanterns has come to HBO Max, and a little birdie has told me that we've got some very interesting takes about this week's episode. Let's find out what we all have to say, shall we? Welcome to the With Mates podcast! What's happening, troops, and welcome back to the With Mates podcast. My name is Andrew Grayson, your host as ever. And it's time for our weekly podcast where we talk about one of the best shows that is on television at the minute. Yes, I'm talking about HBO's Lanterns. We were so happy with episode 1 last week, so let's find out if we're just as happy with episode 2 this week. And I say we because I am joined by the triple barrel man. He's Craig Andrew Mooney.
Hello, Andrew. Hello, I'm excited. I'm excited about this show. Is it?
Nice.
HBO, man.
And he is the smackiest of smacks. He is Polly Smack Pulse. Did it?
Yo, yo, yo. I'm already tickled pink because I really liked your wee birdie told me.
A wee birdie. A wee birdie told me, of course.
That was good.
If you have watched this week's episode, you'll know exactly why I've said that. But yes, we're here to talk about episode 2 of Lanterns. Apologies for my energy, boys. I was doing a sword fighting course today. Boys, I am so old.
I think
I am in bits.
I think it's usually
Like
called cockfighting, isn't it?
No. What?
Cockfight with the chickens.
I don't understand what you...
I don't get it.
I don't get it. I don't get that one.
You
What's he
calling me a
doing?
cock? I know.
Swords,
Explain it then!
Swords, cocks, cockfighting.
What's
It's
swords
over.
and cocks got to do with fuck all?
It's a sword of sorts.
I didn't know. No, I'm using a rapier and a dagger as the ones that I'm
That's
using.
very
But
Shakespearean
yeah, my body's in,
sword.
yeah, my body's in bits though. My knees are sore, my back's sore, everything's sore. So I've had to pop some ibuprofen. So it was very different for me today. I normally watch these episodes when I get up first thing in the morning, but today I obviously had to wait until I got home. I've literally just popped it on. We're recording this at about 9:30. I watched it at 8 o'clock. Before we get into it, let me tell you about the podcast. We are the With Mates podcast. We talk all things movies and games and TV shows and all the good stuff in the nerdy kingdom of TV content, movie content, all that good stuff. So if you are not already subscribing, hit our subscribe button. We have got so much stuff coming out on the podcast and stuff that's already out. Our part 2 of the movie draft is out, fantasy movie draft. So if you want to know about all the movies that are coming out in the second half of the year, we have a little competition where we get to pick the films that we think are going to score the best on Rotten Tomatoes. Big shout out to our wonderful editor, Lara. She has done an absolutely amazing job with that episode. We are so proud of it. So if you haven't watched it yet, please get to the YouTube channel and give it a wee watch. It is one of the best things that we've done. And it's what we want to do more often. Obviously, we do... I'll come back to you, Paul. We do these via Discord and record them at home. But when we're in person and we're in studio, it's so much more fun. It's better content for you guys. So that is the aim for where we're going to take it going forward. And we talk about lots of lovely different things on this podcast. So make sure you're hitting the subscribe button. Make sure you're following us at With Mates Pod on all social media platforms. Paul, yes?
I was just going to say, with the With Mates, we all obviously are competing. And I have it on good records that I'm on track to win this one. So I'm feeling pretty good about this. Just after having watched, the episode.
You live on your own
okay.
wee icy planet.
You might win in 2028, Paul, when your films come out.
Yeah, when your films come out. Little sneak peek of what happens on the podcast. But yeah, that's the podcast overall. How this podcast is going to work. We're going to give you our top thoughts on this week's episode of Lanterns, and then we'll give you a spoiler warning, and we'll get into all the nitty-gritty details of everything that we loved, hated, liked, disliked, whatever our thoughts and feelings are on the episode. So, setting the episode, boys, we were very high on the first episode. Is that feeling continuing? Has it grown? Has it lessened? Give me your thoughts.
I would say it's definitely not like plummeted or like skyrocketed. I would say it's quite an even keel, maybe a slight decrease, but only because the first episode was so strong and I had so much going for it. But I think this was pretty consistent, I would say, across the board in terms of what the show set up in episode 1. And as I said to you guys on the chat, and I can't wait to talk about it when we get there, this show has generally one of the funniest one-liners I've ever heard on a TV show. I hope you know what it is.
I've got a thought of what it is. I don't know if it is that, but for me, it was the one that stuck out for me.
Chef's kiss.
Yeah. What about you, Paul? How did you feel about this week's episode?
Yeah, more or less.
Improved, not improved?
I think it's fairly consistent, maybe a little dip, but nothing like crazy different. I think it's on a fairly similar energy to the last episode. I also think, but this, to top it off, again, someone doesn't really like Green Lantern, anything about him. I do like this sort of more grounded take on it.
Yeah.
But I think in this episode in particular, they have, particularly near the end, they sort of start showing you more about what Green Lantern, I think, is probably known for. And I did actually think that was quite cool. I just like the overall tone in that it's still a sort of like a cop buddy kind of show.
Mm-hmm. You guys are fucking nuts. I'm so much more into that. I love this episode. I thought it was great. Oh, I really enjoy it. There's so much in this episode. Again, it continues on the same kind of track, but there's some really nice performances in this one.
Yeah.
There's some really nice lore in this one. Again, we kind of get the similar tone that continues from the previous episode and stuff, and I love that. But yeah, there's nothing in this episode that would make me think it's went down any at all.
Oh, it's marginal, marginal, I would say.
Yeah, no, I know you aren't saying that you hate it. Obviously, I know that. But like, to me, there are things in this episode that have got me just as excited, if not more, for next week's episode. So like, to me, that's just increasing. And I think with a series like this, the more each episode lands, the more and more I'm just like, oh, we might be on for an all-time. It was similar to Penguin. Every episode of Penguin might not have been the best episode, but there was something in each of those episodes that made me go, this could be one of the best TV shows I've ever watched, kind of thing. And I've got the feeling that this is very similar to that. But that is our top thoughts. That's what we think, but we're going to just get into the good stuff, right? So now is your spoiler warning. If you've not yet watched the episode 2 of The Lanterns, head on over to HBO. Get it watched, then come back over here to YouTube to watch our faces, or come on back over here to Spotify and Apple Music to hear us in your lug holes talk about all things spoilers and lanterns. Now, we'll go through it, but let's start off with Craig's favourite line. I want to guess it.
Please.
Paul, have you got a guess of what it is?
I'm just trying to think of what all the one-liners are in this one. Was it when he was having the chat with the lady again? Was it in that area?
It was between those two characters, but it wasn't in the hospital.
Was it after she pulled him over?
No. It was in the courthouse, or in the gymnasium, or whatever it was. They had the town meeting.
Oh, right.
Okay, what was it? What was the line?
She said, I've got about 30 seconds of patience left. And he says,
yeah, I only need 40 seconds.
Only need 40. Wow.
Do you know what I thought? I thought it was? I thought it was when she pulled him over and he rolled the window down, and obviously he's got those dead aliens, and he's like, is this about me not being on the insurance? And I just thought that, I thought that was such a good line, because I was like, that's so clever. That's what, because I did pick up on the 30 seconds for, I did pick up on that, but then when that one hit, I was just like, oh, that must be it, because that was really funny. Yeah, again, really well written, really nice comedy moment. He's my favourite part in it. I love Kyle Chandler. I love Kyle Chandler as Hal Jordan. I think he's got a lovely he's doing such a lovely performance with being so jaded with the world, but you can still see that there's some sort of fascination with remaining as Green Lantern and being the best guy and all that kind of stuff. And we'll get into more specifics when we talk about through the episode, but I think Kyle Chandler's doing an absolutely amazing job. When I watch a show and I'm just like, right, you need to be in more stuff, I know they're doing a really good job. So I'm so impressed, and that's not to take anything away. I think the rest of the cast, I think Aaron Pierre, Kelly MacDonald, the rest of them are all doing a wonderful job. I want to also shout out Paul Ben Victor, who played Antan, who was one of the aliens, the kind of boss alien that was interrogating. Yeah, that guy. I thought he was really good. I liked him.
Yeah.
That was forcing the memory gun on.
Yeah. Also, I can't wait to talk about that, because I'm very intrigued, because it's completely switched my thought on what the show was going to be.
Okay.
Because like I thought they were the manhunters. I thought that was what was happening, but no, it's the other way around.
Yeah, I didn't know who they were. I didn't think they were the manhunters, but I didn't know. I thought they were going to be the villains. Now it kind of looks as if it's like they're not
like antagonists.
It's going to be Black Ops, mafia-ish alien people against, like right-wing cowboy gun nuts, and I'm all for it. Yeah,
but isn't that film starring Will Smith?
Yeah, it is. It is.
I
thought it Cowboys versus aliens. I thought they were going to be the protagonists and stuff, but from where I'm seeing now, especially like the one of the last scenes when John comes back and tells Hal everything.
Yeah,
I was surprised at that. But he's obviously this honourable guy that talks about like, well, I answer to you, so that's why I told you. But it now looks as if they're kind of going to be the middlemen, essentially.
Yeah.
To like clashing.
And I've got a couple of theories as well about who I think the Manhunter is based off of this.
Me too.
Yeah.
Can I give you mine first?
Yeah, Paul, yeah, go for it.
Do it now? Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I think why not? This is the most interesting part at this point.
This is the only thing that makes sense to me, and I want the scene when they are revealed to play out exactly like this. I want the Manhunter to be the wife that is shagged. I want it to be her.
No.
But the reason I want it to be her is because I want her to come out and just say, I'm the Manhunter. And then I want, that song, she's a man-eater, make it work, boy, just a red boy, da, da, da. But I want that to play.
And this is why...
That is how I want that scene to go.
This is why Paul will never write for HBO.
Paul Sturrett, executive producer.
No, not going to happen. You got a theory, Craig?
I've got two. So, number one is that Kelly MacDonald's character is the Manhunter.
Disagree.
I think it would be interesting if it was her. Number two, this is how they explain how Hal is not dead. Is that at the end, how we saw Hal dead in the first episode in the future?
Yeah.
I think I don't think he's the Manhunter now, but I think potentially that is the Manhunter dead.
Right, and he's taking on
Hal's form,
kind of thing.
and we'll see how that transpired. And I don't think Hal is actually dead.
I'm telling you.
So do you think Hal is Manhunter now?
No.
So my theory would be, and this isn't, I don't really have a theory, but you've made me think about who I would say. I'm going to say it's the son.
The lawyer.
Yeah, I could see that too.
The lawyer.
I could see that too.
I think it's going to be the son, and I think that's why the dad is protecting him. Something to do with that. They'll figure a way out.
There's something about their interaction when they're in the diner and he's like, you didn't tell me you were married, kind of thing. There's something about that scene that's telling me she's the Manhunter, because
maybe
she is overly interested in what.
Yeah, but we've not seen her again though.
Yeah, but we've had two interactions, and already I mean, think about it, like the gun nut, I forget his name, but the gun nut guy is so certain there's an alien amongst them, and he's got all these things. Who is the one person that's not really gonna get scanned? Is his wife. So I am certain it's her.
It's not a bad theory. I have a separate, even more outlandish theory based on the fact that we obviously saw that the hospital doesn't get used. I think the whole town are Manhunters.
Ooh.
But the only thing that would go against that though is who was it? Was it Sinestro he was talking to?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, if one of those is still alive, that's going to be your second biggest problem. So,
what is the rule?
Do you think he's like populated that entire town?
Well, that's what I'm saying. So what I'm not saying necessarily populate. Maybe one person did so, but perhaps
do you think it's but surely
more than one?
Surely if it's one, and again I don't know a lot about this character, but surely then it's Martian Manhunter.
No, it's not the same person.
Or is that different?
No,
is that a different thing?
No, so Manhunters are like a Terminator style thing that preceded the Green Lanterns. Martian Manhunter is a Martian.
Confusing is that?
It is quite confusing. I will give you that.
That's silly. You shouldn't
Mhm.
have characters called Manhunters and then but we've got Martian Manhunter, but he's got nothing
And
to do with
I
it.
don't
That's silly.
really think Martian Manhunter really hunts men, does he?
No.
He's a man eater. Right, let's
No,
talk
that's
about the episode.
wife.
Yeah, I'm forgetting that's the
Okay.
wife. Let's
Uh-huh.
talk about this episode. So, episode 2 is called Trust Fall. We kind of pick up not where we left off because obviously we seen that it was we finished off last week's episode with the flashback. Oh no, sorry, flash forward.
The Flash was in this?
Paul, please
Paul,
behave.
you're on one tonight.
Yeah.
Andrew's
He's been
already
on
said
one
he's
for
tired.
he's been on one for a solid like 3 weeks, man. I can't lie. But yeah, like we start with it. We flash forward last week. We're kind of back to where we are now, and we see the tension is kind of still there between John and Hal. How do you guys feel about the relationship between those two? You still kind of entertained by it? Do you think there's really good chemistry, all that kind of stuff?
It's the kind of crux of the show, isn't it? It's all their
Mhm.
interactions are sort of have this lovely little underlying feeling of there's like a growing respect here, but also I still really don't like you because no one's replacing me, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And just every time they interact, like even the bit with where he generates the bird and he's like, "Go on, then fly." He's like, "How?" He's like, "Well, I'm a pilot. I know how to fly just instinctually. Go on, just do it."
Yeah.
And it was just every little interaction they have. I think once they had those two cast, as good as like Kelly MacDonald and everyone else is in this show, and they are good. I think those
Mhm.
two are the crux of the show, and they do a really good job. It's what keeps me invested.
Yeah.
Craig?
Chemistry's off the charts. I would say between the two of them, they really have cast this incredibly well. And not only that, it's really hard to even just get that dynamic right between like two quite big characters that again they needed to get right because obviously Hal Jordan for reasons of the Ryan Reynolds of it all, but also Jon Stewart because he's not actually been done in. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think he's been done properly in live action before. So they had to get these two right, and I think they've not only managed to get them both right individually, they've also managed to get them right working together, which again would be a quite difficult thing to do. And yeah, I'm so impressed by the pair of them individually as actors, and also just the way they're just bouncing off each other. It is probably, as Paul says, it is what is probably making the show as good as it is, while also the other supporting cast is also excellent. But yeah, it is probably the crux of the show.
Yeah, 100%. I think the thing for me that I'm really enjoying about those two characters in particular, though, is like you're still kind of guessing how they got put together, and I think they're really doing that so well. Like there was loads of breadcrumbs in this episode of things that have obviously happened in the past that we've still not, whether we get told this or not, or whether we see this or not, but like how John got chosen, how John is known because Sinestro knows who he is, these aliens know who he is. We obviously got you can tell that Hal's very much like I'm pretty certain, I can't remember if it was this week or last week. Time is a flat circle, where he says the only way you're getting this ring is over my dead body, kind of thing. So like why I like it is because there was a line in it where he said no sir, and he's like, cut that sir shit, I know you don't mean it, and he's like, yeah, and I'm just like, so he's obviously like an army guy. John's obviously got some sort of like background as being
He's a
a Navy
sniper.
SEAL or whatever, a sniper, yeah. So he's obviously trained to be that way with his superiors, and in this sense, Hal is his superior and stuff like that. But there is this begrudging, and it's the same kind of thing where the aliens are like, we know you're close to Hal Jordan, and he's like, no, I'm not. And it's like I love that tension and I love that relationship, and ultimately, I can't wait to see where that goes in terms of, because you're already seeing this begrudging sense of respect from Hal when he's seen what he could do with the bird, but there's also like a jealous aspect as well. So there's like so much depth within this relationship and how they feel towards one another. I think it's one of the best things about the show. And as I say, like again, I did kind of single out Kyle Chandler, but Aaron Pierre's doing just as he's doing such a good job as well. I'm so surprised we've not seen him in more stuff as well recently.
I think he is just kind of breaking out,
getting his breakout.
Like I said, the only other thing I've seen him in is that Brothers film, which is really good. Actually, I just flicked it on and never turned it off.
Yeah. He was in that film that was quite similar to this kind of style and tone that did really well. I think it was a Netflix film. It was. I think he was he a cop or something in some kind of small town, and there was a whole
Rebel Ridge.
That's it. Yeah. Apparently that was really good. I never saw it. But apparently it was really good.
That's Rebel Moon.
Paul promised you were going to behave.
Transfer ban incoming.
Yeah. Yeah, he's obviously, he's been in loads of stuff. He's been in the movie Old, that was that M. Night Shyamalan movie. He's done some Netflix stuff, but yeah, this is definitely going to be his breakout role. But the two of them, the chemistry's unreal. The performances are great. I love what Kyle Chandler's doing with how, because even within this DCU, obviously it's fresh and new, but we got introduced to Guy Gardner, who comes across very kind of douchey in comparison, but even Hal's character seems so jaded. But the one thing that kind of intrigued me in this episode is when we get to the end, obviously skipping to the end and stuff like that, he seemed very dismissive of putting on the suit. Do you want me to bring the suit over? And he's like, yeah, bring me the suit over once you can tell me how I'm going to pee in it. It was such a disparaging kind of throwaway comment and stuff. But he put it on to go see Sinestro.
Yeah.
I'm very interested in that, because again, I don't know who relationship wise they are to one another.
Do you want to know, or do you want to wait?
No, I kind of want to see.
I don't know. I don't know what the exact dynamic is, other than it's basically Green Lantern's Joker, essentially, to Batman.
Yeah, but I could be completely wrong in this, but from what I know, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, or can leave it silent. I can find out. I thought Sinestro was a lantern, and then turned evil or something like that. That's from I've never watched the.
They said it in the episode. Film. They said it in the episode.
Yeah.
There's
so
different. I know there's different colors of lanterns, and I know the yellow one is
yellow bad.
So
yellow bad.
Yeah.
Yellow bad.
So this is the thing, right? This is where I believe the first thing, because obviously we've seen the Family Guy jokes and stuff like that, where it's oh, I'm Green Lantern, you get killed by the color yellow. It's dumb, and I think there was a point in this where I went, well, that seems really dumb. Is the moment where the Ring had basically a Siri just being you only have 5%, and I was just that's dumb. But also, how inconvenient is the Ring that it needs to be charged up?
Yeah.
That's such a fucking MacGuffin thing where it's oh, well, he can't be powerful just now. Why? Oh, he didn't fucking bring his fucking Wi-Fi charger. He didn't bring his fucking Type C.
I've never particularly really liked Green Lantern's powers, because I think it's just he can basically do anything in a different way to how Superman can do anything. But I think the charging of the Ring is actually, maybe from a writing perspective, a good way.
It's a limitation.
To ground him a bit, he's not just invincible all the time. The reason he didn't just go to the gun nut farm and kick their asses and say, "Hey, tell me what I want to know," is because he's on 5%.
I get that, and I understand the reason for that, and I don't. I think it all depends on how.
Sorry, I just thought of something there.
Sorry.
I actually, to add on to his performance, I actually really like how he charged it up, despite not liking the charging and all that. Again, the way he just like took the ring and like stuck and they said the phrase,
Yeah,
but he said it like really quickly and like could not sound like he cared at all.
But that's what I was going to say, though. It gave me Tangled vibes. It gave me that moment where, like, obviously, he's
Yeah.
Ariel Ma's like, "Oh, come on, Rapunzel," and she's like, "Let your flower grow." It's like, right, okay, we get it. Move on. The thing for me though is like, I think it depends on how you do it, because that was one of my big complaints about Kara in Supergirl, where it was like, there's no yellow sun. She's out the film for 20 minutes. I feel as if you do that, and again, I get what you're saying. Like, this is obviously at a point. Even the daft thing where he like hit it off the boot, and it's like, you just need to give it a like, it's almost like when you rub your batteries in your telly remote, and that will give them an extra like 15 days or whatever. But yeah, it just seemed a bit. It works in a TV series because it's, again, as you say, like, he had to go visit the Cowboys. And you got that moment where he's like, if he was trying to bluff them, he's going to shoot me, I'm just going to pull up, blah, blah, blah. I get it. It just seemed dumb. It just seemed really silly and inconvenient at a point. And it's like, are we going to get to a point where their equivalent of Thanos or whoever, like, I know it's,
Darkseid.
what's his name? Wolf, fucking,
It's definitely
whatever
the wolf guy is. I've never heard of. It's usually Darkseid, I think.
Darkseid, yeah, Darkseid.
Oh,
so
Steppenwolf.
it just
Steppenwolf.
Thank
That's
you.
the one.
Yeah. Yeah, if it's Darkseid and he's like, guys, 2v6, let your flower grow, never. It's just like, okay, cool. But the one thing I will say though is, I do think we'll get a payoff for that with the speech. I think the speech will be done properly. I don't think it'll be Hal. I think it will be John. The first time he kind of powers up as Green Lantern, I think we'll get that. I think he's doing such a good job, to put it in a way for Paul and I don't know if Craig, if you're well versed in this. John seems very much the babyface, good guy. Gee shucks, like, we'll do it, like, but he's doing it in a way where I don't think he's a dweeb.
Yeah, 100%.
Did
a good
and
job
I
of
think that works, especially when Superman is such a fucking dweeb, but in a really likable way. This guy's obviously this good guy as well, but he's
a good guy with edge.
The scene where he gets kidnapped, I was like, oh, I was into that. That looked great. The fight scene in the van was so much fun. Thoughts?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
You've been, come on, go for it, man.
Yeah, no, I liked when he was kidnapped. I think those I never actually quite caught. They didn't really say who they were, did they? They're not manhunters, but they're aliens.
No, they're the ones who
that
find the
manhunters
manhunter.
were. Yeah.
So, but that's. It took me a wee while to actually know, because I was like, oh, that boy's strong, and then I realized, I was like, oh, that's why, because he's obviously an alien. But the stuff in the van, I thought was really cool. Well, especially the way he was using the bird. Like, the bird was obviously just like distracting and like doing little pecks and just like helping him out and stuff. That was really clever.
There was actually a couple of lines regarding that I caught, that I'm like, okay, like you were saying, we don't know the full story about how it was chosen and whatnot, that were quite interesting to me. There's a bit about when he first made the bird, and he's like, oh, obviously when I think of flight, I fly. You created a bird. That must be significant to you. And then he immediately kills it. So
yes.
He's like, nah.
Don't show weakness. That'll be his dad's influence. That'll be all that stuff.
But then
the alien guy also said earlier on, he was like, something about when he was putting the memory gun to him. He was like, you might have known this. Have you ever had a loved one betray you? And he says something along the lines of like, don't talk about that, or yeah, sure I have, or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, there's definitely something there with a dad it's something to do with a bird. I'm fairly certain now, but no idea what.
But then the way I also looked at it though, and again, I think that's entirely plausible, and I think that is a way it could definitely go. The way I looked at it as well though was like the way they kind of made out, and even I was like, at the time when he made the bird, how the way that it was played, how I was like, the fuck are you doing that? Like that's nuts. Like how are you doing that? And then even like the challenge to him, which again I think this is a good teacher moment, where he's like, if you don't bring the bird back, you'll fail. I genuinely think that's him going, let me see how far you can, like how long can you hold this and stuff. But then that moment where he's like, so what is with the bird? Like, what's the significance of this? And he's like, there's no significance. Like, no, but like, what is it? And he's like, nothing. I think that's in a way to show how like astute with the ring he is, like how powerful he actually is with it, where it was like he's done something that is so difficult to do, and the only way that Hal thinks that he can do it is because it is of significance and it's like something that really means something to him, and he's like, no, I can just do that. I could be wrong, but that's what I took from it.
I think
feel
his
like it
dad
could be
killed a bird
both.
when he was a kid.
Say again?
I think his dad killed a bird when he was younger and he saw it. Something like that.
Maybe.
He had a pet
maybe.
bird. He had a pet bird.
Mhm.
A pet budgie.
Cause it's Warner Brothers. He had a pet bird and he called it Tweety, and then the dad went and fed it to a cat called Sylvester.
The dad named Sylvester. Yeah.
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 Sylvester Stewart. Yeah, that's a good name. Yeah.
Let's talk about the wonderful Kelly MacDonald. I think she's doing a great job.
She is.
I think she's absolutely killing it. We said it last week. Her accent's great. Her performance is great. I'm very intrigued into her dynamic and relationship with her husband, though. It's giving off kind of prisoner vibes. That like there's no real kind of like, we still barely see them really interact with one another other than being like distant conversations. There is no husband and wife feel.
They are husband.
Oh wait, have I got that totally mixed up?
No, they're
Yeah,
husband
no,
and
it's
wife.
the brother.
Uh-huh,
Yeah, it's the son.
lawyer.
And
yeah.
then
Yeah.
it's this. It's the
Yeah.
lawyer. That's a weird dynamic. And then obviously she's almost like fearful of her father-in-law as well. So it's just that, to me, has to be of significance.
They are husband and wife in like name only, because there has been not a single shot really that has kind of established them as a loving or any kind of couple.
Yeah,
They
I also
went
like
to
the bit.
dinner, but like that was it.
Yeah, I also like the bit where she's like, "Honey," and Hal answers, "Yeah." Like, no, I'm talking to my husband. I was just like, yeah, Hal's great. He's so funny, man. He's got it's such a nice character in the sense of, I don't know, he's so smart and quick, and just like, as I say, like he's just like this jaded cop that's like, because there is a point where John is like, oh, they must pay well, the Lanterns must get paid well, and he's like, not enough, like not for what we go through and stuff, because of the size of his house and things like that. And it's just like, it's weird. I'm like, I just want to see more of what he did in that time between seeing him on the TV and then seeing him now. Like, I'm so interested.
Have you seen the promo for next week yet?
No. I'll have a wee look at that after this.
Because there's a few hints in that. Also, incidentally, did you notice there was no time jumps in this episode, which I thought was quite a good idea because of the jumping last week.
I don't think we'll get many more of those until maybe closer to the end.
Next week.
But what I mean in terms of going forward, I think we will get a flashback episode that will concentrate on Hal.
I was,
but we'll need to wait and see.
Very happy to see that, actually, because obviously, again, said the whole dynamic of the show is John and Hal, but I had seen quite a bit of actual negative pushback against this, the first episode, because it was like, they've finally brought in Hal Jordan. What are they doing? Oh, they've once again taken a beloved hero and broken him down, a la Luke Skywalker, Indiana Jones. Which I can see that is actually a very valid take, because they are doing it again. I just think for once they're doing it quite well, and I think then they go on what they do. They just finally killed him off, and then I was a little bit worried at the end when this episode started. Are we going into the 2026 version? Are we just doing this now. It's just John, and the whole trailer was basically set.
Oh no,
the
no,
first
no! I
episode
knew that
and then
wasn't. Yeah.
I had the fear that was gonna plummet the show very quickly in my estimates, but
I mean, that's why IMDb is great, because it does tell you that he's in 8 episodes.
That's
so it's
true,
just like,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
definitely not going to happen. but the thing, but that's why I think that episode was structured so well, because then I'm going, cool. How did we get to this moment? And then you fill it in with the rest of the series and stuff. Here's a question I've got for you. Going forward, the scene with the interrogation scene, we'll just call it. Again, I thought it was performed wonderfully by both actors, both main actors. I thought it was like, we've seen so many of these where it's like the bad guy says these things. This almost had a turn where it's like, no, we don't want to torture you. We want to recruit you. Like, we want you on our side.
Mm-hmm.
And then the device thing. Do you think we're going to see what John
Maybe.
did at any point in this series?
Maybe a wee dream maybe a wee like wakes up nightmare style or flashback, you know, yeah. Could be good.
Because the one thing I would say is, if we do, I've got real high hopes on it, because everything that's been in this in this series so far, and then obviously how it ended, looks stunning. The moment where Hal flew to the other planet looked great. The prison looked great.
Mm-hmm.
Even how he flew was so different as to how Superman flew.
Mm-hmm.
He was almost like a comet kind of thing, where it was like this white kind of aura around him and stuff. Looked brilliant. I think Hal flying, there was a moment where he flew just to kind of look around the town. Looked really good.
Mm-hmm.
I liked how the Earth
so yeah,
looked in that shot as well. Actually, you get a
Yeah.
good look at, like, I think it's like the Arctic or something. It
Mhm.
looks really cool.
But yeah, I'm very, very interested to see if we do get that. And it's HBO, so to me, I'm going like, it's going to look unreal, because they don't do bad stuff. Is there anything else in the episode that stuck out? Like, obviously the moment when he gets shot. Like, again, I
That was
really
fun.
like. They've just cast this entire series really, really well in terms of the actors. The guy that plays the father-in-law, I'm gonna get his name up just now.
Oh.
Yes.
My name is Earl.
Huh?
The plant.
What?
The plant.
Oh yeah, that was weird. That was the moment where I was like, oh yeah, James Gunn's doing this. I was just like, yeah, James Gunn's decided that he's got a pet plant, and which I'm guessing is in.
He must do, yeah. I don't know,
in
but
one
he
comic
must
or
do,
something.
yeah.
That was his input for the entire series. Give him the plant. Give him the plant.
Yeah, put the plant in.
And then he was like,
happy.
make it talk.
Make
it talk. It's like, no, James, we've got it. It's fine.
Yeah, the
Give
guy
it a
that
whole
plays
backstory.
yeah, exactly. Garrett Dillahunt plays William Macon. Really like him. He's very intense. But again, it's this idea of like, right, wait, what part do you play in this? Are you
Who's his
covering for the
boss?
Manhunters? Are you the Manhunter?
Is the
Like-
boss the Manhunter? Is that's what
Yeah.
they're kinda, I think that's what they're kind of teasing at this point.
I would imagine.
But is it obvious?
Too
That's my
too
question.
obvious. I'm telling you, I'm telling you now, it's the wife and Man-Eater will play. That is my biggest.
You might be
biggest
half
prediction.
I mean, you're I was going to say, like, you've got a good shout at being half right. I'm all but certain we won't hear a Britney Spears song in this.
It's a Nelly Furtado.
I'll cut
song.
back to.
Come
I'll
on
cut.
now.
I'm a man. What am I?
Womanizer.
Womanizer. Is that you've absolutely fucking nailed that in one pull. We will not hear Man-Eater in this. I will cut into the fact if we get oops I did it again in another episode. I will cut this into the future episode. Anything else we want to kind of pick up on?
I'm looking forward to seeing Sinestro and how that's going to play out. I'm excited. It's a really cool casting. I think it's going to be a really fun. I imagine they're going to have that scene extended next week, and we'll get to see what they were chatting about. I love how he teased the fact that John Stewart is his number one threat. And that's,
that's again such an intriguing ending to the episode where he's like, because that was it. Is like when he goes, oh, if there is a Manhunter, he's going to be your second most concerning thing just now. Tell me about John. And I was like, oh, how do you know about John, Sinestro? I think this is why I'm enjoying this series as well, though, is because I don't know any backstory to this. And it's so nice to kind of get introduced. Again, what I love, I don't know if it's happening for you. Is like I'm watching this on the app or the streaming service, HBO streaming service. The both episodes when I've finished it has tried to play Ryan Reynolds
That's
Green Lantern,
really?
like the auto plays, and I'm just like, no,
No.
because I've never seen it, but I'm just like, I have never heard anyone say
would
anything
not
but
recommend
bad
it.
about it.
It is awful.
tried to play Superman, but it was just the way they advertised it was a big face close up of Nathan Fillion's face as Guy Gardner. I was like, I'll pass.
I need to rewatch Superman. I've not watched it in a while, but I'm currently on my Marvel
of course
Marathon.
rewatch, and this week it's going to be very helpful because I'm doing the PlayStation blackout. Fuck PlayStation. So I'll get to watch lots of movies and stuff like that. I'm actually really looking forward to rewatching some of the movies that I've enjoyed this year.
Have those problems
but
at
this
Xbox.
I know they've got their own problems though. But yeah, this is to me. This is shaping up to be a wonderful series. I'm absolutely enjoying it. And again, I come on here and I was like, look, what are DC doing? What they're now for me? They're what 2 out of 4, 2 out of 3, 60%, 66%
Clayface to
so
come.
far. Clayface to come. We'll be interested by the end of the year at where it's sitting. I know they've done
Teacher Commandos
Penguin as well, which is but I don't really include that because that's not this universe.
I suppose, yeah, fair.
That's not this universe. So you've had Creature Commandos,
Peacemaker,
Superman, Peacemaker. All right, I'll give them Peacemaker, the first series especially. But yeah, the movie wise, they're 1 out of 2. But this series is very much up my street. I think they've done a superb job with this casting, storytelling, writing, everything about it. I'm so intrigued, and we're only 2 episodes in. It could change, but like for me, I think this might be one of the highlights of the year, television wise. Out of interest, I need to check and see what it is currently on Rotten Tomatoes.
Let's be real.
Paul must know.
The best thing about the Peacemaker series was the intro dances. Like the
first year trumps
I liked
the second
the
year
second
by far.
one. The second one actually grew on me, but the first one is the best for sure.
The first one's Do you really want to taste it? Yeah, that one's so much better. It's currently sitting at 93%, so it's very well liked. 82% popcorn meter though. That's silly. Who's watching this and not enjoying it? Weirdos, get in the comment section if that's you. Put it in the comments. Come at me.
Is that for Lanterns?
Lanterns is sitting at 93.
Because that might be the pushback I've mentioned is like, oh, they've taken Hal. We're finally getting a real Hal. And
maybe.
And he's broken down and
yeah.
Which actually, see, thinking about it, I can actually see why someone might not like this series. If you've been waiting all this time and you are a fan of Green Lantern and you get this, I can see why you might, if you're expecting some kind of sci-fi-ish epic, right? But I like it because I've never really liked Green Lantern.
Yeah, it's not that.
And I think they're very aware of the Ryan Reynolds movie, and they're trying to create a distance of some sort and make it open to people like me who have never really been into him, is what I think they're trying to do with this series.
It's just a different take. I think we will eventually get that when we get the Green Lantern movie. I think they'll go bigger and more sci-fi and stuff like that. But for the introduction, I like the idea that it is just like a cop drama with otherworldly superhero stuff in it. It's such a strange genre, but it's working. So I'm not complaining. Like I'm thoroughly enjoying this. I can't wait to watch next week's episode. I'm actually the second we get off this, I'm going to go and watch the trailer for next week's episode because I like that HBO do that every week. Right, final thoughts on this week's episode. What are your biggest highlights, biggest takeaways, and what you're looking forward to most next week?
Highlights, I would say, remains the 2 of them, both individually and separate. I think that's going to carry the show forward. I think that the tone is spot on, and it's again very consistent. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to the Sinestro of it all next week and seeing where that goes.
Paul?
Yeah, Can't really add much to that. I think love their dynamic. Hope it continues. I can already see how Sinestro's like influence is going to get in between the two of them, especially getting Hal's head. Especially since I think yellow lanterns are like fear or something, so he's going to start preying on that, I think. So I think that is quite an interesting dynamic. So yeah, I'm looking forward to see how that develops. And Sinestro's mustache, which was glorious.
As always.
Yeah, I second that. I love the dynamic between Hal and John, between Aaron and Kyle. The thing I'm looking forward to next week, Nathan Fillion and Laura Linney, according to IMDb, will be in every episode going forward.
Laura Linney?
So we're going to be getting Guy Gardner and Laura Linney's character, who I think is part of, from the trailer that I seen last week. So last week it wasn't a next week.
She's
last week it was
her.
coming to. She's
That's
playing
her.
like the yeah. She's playing like the I don't know how you would put it, like the head. I think the person that picked
officer.
John kind of thing. The what?
The recruitment officer for the Lanterns.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah, exactly. Because I love Laura Linney. I think she's a fantastic actor.
I didn't realise that was her. Of course it is.
And I'm so intrigued to see the dynamic between Guy Gardner, because that's the other thing that we didn't talk about is you've went from having Hal Jordan being Earth's only Green Lantern, and in that time Guy Gardner's became one, and now
but John's not one.
John Stewart. No, but that's what I'm saying. John Stewart's now been chosen to be the next one. So why specifically is he next of Hal and not next of Guy? Like, this is what I'm saying. I'm so intrigued to see the dynamic between that triangle.
How that's happened.
Hopefully it all makes sense.
I'm sure it will, and if it does or doesn't, we will be here to talk about it. So, get in the comment section, let us know what you're thinking of Lanterns. Is it your show of the year so far? Where do you think it's going to fit in the grand scheme of the DCU? All that good stuff. Is this one a hit for you, just like it is for myself and the other two guys? Get in the comment section. Let us know all your thoughts and stuff like that. I'm going to once again plug our fantasy movie draft. It's a wonderful episode. A lot of time, care, and love has went into that, editing stuff, and we love getting to be in studio and getting to make episodes like that for you, lovely lot. So comment on that one, get us as many views on that episode as possibly can, so that we can share it out and more and more people can see it, because I think it's a wonderful concept, and I want more and more people to see me whip these boys at the fantasy movie draft, because again, it happened last year and it's happening again this year.
Can I just
counting me out?
Can I just say? Can I just say, by the way, that Joseph is starting to creep into the lead. He's coming.
Look, Joseph is the man to beat.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse
Craig,
me.
you were the man to beat. Paul, you're lucky not to the relegation thing isn't going to be true. We joked about it on the podcast. You're lucky that it's not true. If you don't come last, I am going to be so fucking shocked.
Just
but that goes without saying. Craig, you were the man to beat last year, and I did it in style. I still think I've got an outside chance to beat Boone. It all kind of comes down to Werewolf for me, and Ghosts.
Yeah.
But other than that,
just
I think
watch Ghosts
I'm in for a shout.
become a major hit.
It better be.
Yeah.
100%, baby.
No, it's not going to be 100%. It's definitely not going to be 100%. But yeah, go check out our fantasy movie draft episode. We've still got our Nolan rank to come out as well, where we rank all the Nolan movies. We've got an X-Men review up there. We'll be doing our catch-up at some point this kind of week or next week, where we'll be talking about all the films and stuff that we've seen in the cinema. There's lots to talk about. I think we might... No promises, but we might do a Coyote Acme.
I think we should.
Seeing
it's so pivotal.
If we can all see it, definitely.
In the movie draft, it's very pivotal, so I think we should. I think we should watch it.
Any clips of that I have seen so far have made me laugh, so I'm quite keen to see it.
Let's do it.
We'll try and get a wee pod trip to go see that one together, and we'll do a wee podcast on it. But thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. We will see you next week for more Lanterns. But until then, lights on me, Jay.
She's a man-eater, make you work hard, make you spend.
Womanizer, oh, I'm a womanizer. Oh,
oops, I did it again. I played with your hand.
Demonetization!
Tune in to With Mates Karaoke.